commercials like these.
Together we soar.
Garin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
On the corner of 75th and Binford Boulevard, we have more basketball in the Hoosier State on IndianaSRN. Tonight you get to see the Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats visit the Heritage Christian Eagles. Hello everyone, I'm Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electrician serving Central Indiana. IUPUI, a lifetime of sport with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 logistical solution. And finally, Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. Well, tonight's matchup features 2 teams that are really balanced with shooting the basketball, but really it's Indy Homeschool, Jarrett, that has shot the basketball well against every other team they've played. They are undefeated heading into tonight. How can they get another win against a tough Heritage Christian opponent tonight?
Well, they have a really good player in Gloria Brewer. We got to learn a lot about her this week from their coach and just the amount of scoring that she has. If you count 7th and 8th grade years, she's over 3,000 points at a varsity level. So she's playing up. That's how good she is. So really just get her involved and let her be the one to do a lot of the work for the homeschool. It's not a very deep team, Indianapolis homeschool is, but with Brewer and also a couple of other upperclassmen like Bookwalter and Barnes, those 2 juniors and seniors, you'll see a lot of those 3 tonight for Indianapolis. It's going to be a really tough matchup for Heritage Christian, but at home, the Eagles, they have a good shot with a really balanced team also, like you said, Joey.
Well, Audrey Brewer has had to step up for Heritage Christian. She's got 11.7 points per game. She shoots at about 30% from three-point, leads the team in free throw percentage. They have got to get her the ball because she's had 5 straight games with 10-plus points. The offense really runs through her.
Yeah, it really does. She's been the one to step up, like you said. They graduate so much scoring from last year. 4 seniors that started for Heritage Christian, and of course, this is a team that we are so familiar with here at IndianaSRN. We see them almost every week. And so we've seen a girl like Audrey Brewer, a senior, be a leader and step up. We've also seen all 3 of the Marshall sisters step in. You have a senior in Grace, and Jocelyn's a freshman, and then Corinne as a sophomore. And all 4 of those girls are going to start, and the 3 Marshall sisters have really been able to step up this year, not just in scoring, but rebounding the basketball too. It's not a very tall Heritage Christian team, but when you have girls that have a motor that doesn't stop running like the Marshalls, you'll see a lot of rebounds from them and trying to get second chance points for the Eagles.
Corinne Marshall, 77% from the free throw line, leads the team in rebounds with 62, and leads the team in assists with 28. A lot of athleticism on the floor. Let's chat about this Indy Homeschool Wildcats squad a little bit more. They're coached by Scott Roscoe. In his career, he's 30-6. Just the first year coaching last year. As a team, they're shooting 42% from the field, 49% from the 2-point range, and then 27% from beyond the arc. They are a team that really likes to move the basketball. We talked about Gloria Brewer. You mentioned Bookwalter and Ruddle. Well, I have a proposition for you, Jarrett. What do you think about the minutes per game that that Sarah Roscoe, coach's daughter, is putting up. She's got over 20 minutes a game, 6 points per game, but she feels like a dynamic player that could be important tonight too.
It's not a deep roster, like we said. It's kind of difficult sometimes when you have a homeschool team, but
yeah.
I mean the record shows it, and all 8 or 9 girls that we're going to see Coach Roscoe put out there this afternoon. Even though it's not necessarily a deep team, he does utilize everybody off that bench, and we love to talk about just how good of a scorer Brewer is, but it does take all 5 girls on the floor for the Wildcats, and just a tremendous season for them. Really excited for us to see them for the first time this year, and just exactly what they're all about, being 14-0.
Certainly doesn't come easy when you're ranked 7th in the state in points for Gloria Brewer, 36th nationally. You feel like you have to tout that on your shoulders, and I think that Coach Roscoe's message to her has been good throughout the year. When we talked with Coach, she said, look, she can go score points as long as she doesn't feel like she has to have the pressure the whole game. That's kind of the impression I got. On the side for Heritage Christian, Cassie Wiseman, 23-16 all-time. They are currently 2nd in the Circle City Conference. Last year, they finished 15-8, 2-2 in the Circle City Conference. We're going to be right back with more preview before tonight's matchup. You're watching basketball on IndianaSRN. Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. We have the Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats coming in undefeated. Opposed to what's on your screen, 14-0 on the season, and Heritage Christian at 8-8 to clarify. Jarrett, I wanted to talk about the point differentials for Indy Homeschool. Being undefeated is no small task, but when you're beating teams by 15 to 20 every night, you have to have solid shooting, and their numbers don't jump off the page. They seem like pretty run-of-the-mill, just above average numbers. How are they getting it done each and every night?
Well, it's all 5 girls on the floor, and kind of like we said before the first break, Coach Roscoe just having a lot of confidence in each girl that is out there. And looking at this roster, you actually get to see where these girls are from. This is a homeschool team, and with only 8 or 9 girls on the varsity roster, you're getting girls from different parts of the state around central Indiana. It's not just Indianapolis, but you just surrounding areas, even down south towards Greenwood. There's 3 girls on this roster from that area. So it's really important for a guy like Coach Roscoe to grab some confidence out of these girls, and whenever practicing, making sure that they're playing well together. And so far we have seen exactly that. And they're coming off a pretty close win against Northwestern, who's out of Kokomo, but every other game has really been a great big differential. They are really dominating teams from start to finish and scoring upwards around 100 points even. They've cracked 90 once or twice this season.
And 100 once.
So very impressive scoring from the Indianapolis homeschool girls, and we're really excited to see what they can do here on the road, and we'll see just how Coach Wiseman and the Eagles, as you can see them there in the huddle, what exactly their plan is to stopping a girl like Gloria Brewer and the rest of the Wildcats.
Another thing to consider is both these teams have not played a game since mid-December. That's definitely no COVID, no barring. Just that's the way the schedule worked out. Last game for Indy Homeschool, they played Northwestern, as you said, Jarrett, won by 4. Brewer had 15 points, shot about just under 50%. Hannah Ruddle had 10 points. Bookwalter had 8, and that's just the kind of the way it went. We're going to be right back after these messages and the national anthem. You are watching girls basketball on IndianaSRN.
warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. Tonight's game is Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats visiting the Eagles of Heritage Christian on 75th and Binford. Jarrett, we're approaching game time. You could feel the electricity. This is really a big game for Heritage Christian. They're seeking their 9th win, trying to get above that 500 hump. For Indy Homeschool, it just feels like another game. They just need to get after it like they have. And not to put words in your mouth, just feels like this has just got to be another game where they just let the process roll.
Yeah, I think for Homeschool, it's you're really used to the travel, going to different schools and playing these teams. They're not just playing homeschool teams, but they're playing teams like this, like Heritage Christian. They have a majority or part of their schedule is IHSAA affiliate schools, and so for them, yeah, like you said, it's just another game. They play different schools the whole entire season. For Heritage Christian, they have a mix of conference teams and other Indianapolis teams, and now you're facing off against a team that you don't necessarily know much about. You do get a scouting report from Coach Wiseman, but other than that, you're playing a team that you don't necessarily play, just how they're built as a homeschool program. So, that will play a factor into this one, I'm sure. And, of course, for homeschool, trying to stay undefeated. For Heritage Christian, trying to gain some momentum as we enter the second half of the season.
Starting lineups for tonight for Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats. Number 3, Emma Barnes at power forward. At guard, number 4, Julia Bookwalter. Number 12, Gloria Brewer at guard. Louisa Shook at small forward. She's number 14. And number 20, Hannah Ruddle for Heritage Christian. Number 3, Corinne Marshall. Number 4, Grace Marshall. Number 14, Audrey Boer. Number 23, Jocelyn Marsh. And number 50, Casey Frost. On the jump will be Grace Marshall for Heritage and Emma Barnes for IHS.
Last time these two teams played was back in 2019, and Heritage Christian got the better of that one, 50-42, that score. And so it's been 3 years now. 2019 was 3 years ago, Joey. Can you believe that?
That's wild. It is crazy to think about how fast time flies. And for a lot of these girls, they were freshmen if they stuck around. For a lot of the seniors, at least, they were freshmen 3 years ago, and that's certainly something to consider. Maybe a little revenge game if you're the Wildcats.
And also for Heritage Christian being able to be at home for this one. You're coming off a big win against Southport. So again, this will be a tough task for them. And with the win, you try to build a winning streak. Second half of the season, we're into the new year.
Right.
A good time to get hot if you're a basketball team.
Just a month and a half left to go in the season. Just under, really. Gloria Brewer is going to get us started. Heritage Christian lining up man-to-man. Thumps it on the elbow to Barnes. Down out again. Here is Julia Bookwalter. A lot of movement. You'll see a ton of passing from this Wildcat squad. Driving to the lane. Emma Barnes is going to be a traveler. And that's the first turnover of the game on the first possession for Indy Homeschool.
Nice cutoff defensively. Not going to get off a good shot on the first possession. Good defense from Heritage Christian.
Jocelyn Marshall bringing the basketball up. This is a Heritage Christian team that averages over 45 a game. But they've been held to 41 their last 2 games, so just under their average.
And the Wildcats scoring 20 points more each game. A high-powered offense. Heritage Christian may have to score a lot of points tonight to win this one.
Jocelyn Marshall working against Gloria Brewer. Passes off to her sister Corinne. Loses the ball. Loose on the ground. Bookwalter contending for it with Grace Marshall, and it trickles back to Corinne. She's got an open lane. Takes the layup, and that one falls.
Nicely done by Corinne. Really got out of syncs offensively to Heritage Christian. Not sure what kind of shot they're going to get off, and great defense on the other end.
Anna Ruddle was driving to the hole and gets taken away. Up and over is Casey Frost for her second, or for hers.
Quick points there for Heritage Christian, turning defense into offense.
Driving to the hole, Brewer. Shot doesn't fall. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. Brewer 72% free throw shooter on the season.
Looks like they got Jocelyn Marshall on the foul. So impressive, the numbers from Brewer again. Over 3,000 varsity points. But if you don't include her 7th and 8th grade year, it's still over 2,000.
Just insane. She's been so solid. This is her 73rd and 74th attempt. She splits the 2. Heritage leads 4-1. Back out to Marshall. Working against Ruddle. Drives to the hole, and that's going to be a foul on Bookwalter.
Yeah, looks like they did get Bookwalter, and Bookwalter first gets beat off the dribble, and then there's no real good help side defense. Kind of a lot of reaching over, but they do get a steal here.
Gloria Brewer on the run. Easy layup.
Brewer took a lot of that contact, and she was still telling herself that she was going to be able to finish it, and she does. And it's a lot of playing 7th and 8th grade at the varsity level, you initiate or you see a lot of looks. You get a lot of reps. You can talk about kind of reps in other sports, but basketball too. I mean, at a young age, being able to play up, you get all those reps, see a lot of different looks. You get a much better feel for the game.
And she's the type of player, too, where she just kind of knows exactly where to go. And probably, to your point, that comes from experience. Here's Ruddle, back outside, top of the key. Holly Woodard back on the floor. There's Bookwalter. Drive into the hole. That one is no good. Long ball, deep pass to Brewer, easy finish.
And a great pass. I think that was Jocelyn Marshall who threw it all the way down with the left hand. Great vision by the young guard.
Dishes out to Bookwalter. Long three, that one's long. Past the rim, and it's going to be Heritage Christian ball. Trying to rebound there was Woodard. Entering the floor now, Rhea Garcia, junior.
Bookwalter, the first to put up a three-point shot for the Wildcats. Second on the team in scoring at 12.5 points a contest.
Brewer, easy steal. Taken away on the run, and she's going to go to the line again. And that's what she does. Gloria Brewer just causes trouble, runs the ball down the floor. She's shot a lot of free throws this year, far more than most in the state. 7th in the state in points. Just crazy. 3rd in steals, and you can see why.
Yeah, and it was an easy steal too, Joey. I mean, just when you have lockdown defense like that and you're able to get steals that quickly, that easily, Heritage Christian will no doubt see less, full offensive possessions. If you can get the opponent out of the offense quickly like that, and again, the same thing.
Gloria Brewer is going to be called for the travel. Just as you said, I mean, you have that quick defensive possession to get back to the offense. Brewer caught in a tough place there.
Yeah, Brewer, it was pretty close. Not lifting her feet, but referees thought she moved her feet just a little bit enough to call the travel.
Running the ball down the floor, Jada Wilson. And another travel on the other side. Feels like Heritage Christian shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
Nobody in a real good rhythm quite yet. A lot of turnovers, a lot of bad passes, and the traveling called.
Do you think that could be attributed to the long break that they've had?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Christmas and what have you.
It sure can.
Neither team playing since mid-December, even. There's Rhea Garcia back out to Brewer. A little bit off. Gets her own rebound. Fighting forward, fouled on the ground by Audrey Brewer. Long ball inside the paint. That one's off. Holly Woodard was on the little reception there in the paint, and that's where they make their money. Audrey Brewer on the opposite side. That layup doesn't go. Rebounded there by number 14, Louisa Shook. Brewer. Cross-court pass. Deep three. That one falls. Sarah Roscoe.
Just a freshman. And Dad's the coach. We talked about her just a little bit in the pregame. Some quality minutes as the underclassman.
Very quality and pretty opportunistic if you have your dad as your coach, constantly working on your shooting game. Gloria Brewer makes a move to the basket, and it's rebounded by Ayantu Jones. She makes her return after a three-game absence.
We got a foul on the Wildcats, I believe, and Frost was able to get the rebound. But still, you can see both teams trying to shake off a lot of the rust from over break. Another look at this three. Just got it off in time before Brewer came on and closed.
Stolen away from Barnes. Barnes is going to take it to the rack. A little bit of an unorthodox way to shoot the basketball underneath the hoop. She gets it to go. 10-6.
Yeah, down the left side of the floor and was dribbling with the right hand and actually I think put it up with both hands.
I think she did.
On the left-handed layup. And then you get another quick turnover committed by Heritage Christian, and I think it's going to force a timeout from Coach Weisman.
It sure is. It gives us a chance to tell you about Morales Group. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. We do so much more than that. Let us help you today. Contact Morales Group, 317-472-7600. That's 317-472-7600. Also brought to you by IHSAA officials. To become an IHSAA official, contact the IHSAA office. Get involved with men and women behind the stripes. Great way to stay in shape and make some extra money. Be a part of the games. Visit ihsaa.org/officials. So Heritage Christian takes their first timeout of the game. They had a 4-1 lead. Since then, it's been a 9-2 run for Indy Homeschool.
Took them a little while to finally get some scoring going, and Brewer kind of doing a little scoring herself, but also being a facilitator, passing the ball around, and that led to that three by Roscoe. Brewer's not on the floor right now, so we'll see what this five can do for the Wildcats.
Different type of look. We've seen several substitutions by the Wildcats, and that might be just Roscoe's idea, Coach Roscoe's idea of getting different girls involved. And not only that, maybe giving different looks to throw Heritage off.
And the same for Coach Weisman, bringing in a couple of freshmen. One of them trying to go after the rebound here. Crook and Wilson have been the two, really the two first girls off the bench for Coach Weisman, both being freshmen.
And in talking to Cassie Wiseman, you know, last year, her first season, finishes 15-8, 2-2 in Circle City. Her team was solid last year. This team is pretty solid, but they're just young.
They're super young, and they're a lot of promising things you can probably say about this team. Being young and having these freshmen, sophomore that are playing a lot of quality minutes, and this may be, you don't want to say a rebuild year, of course, but it is a whole different looking group this year for Heritage Christian than it was last year.
Bookwalter's going to let it fly. Gets the three to fall, and it's 13-6 for the Wildcats.
Bookwalter had a good look at three in her first attempt. She just missed it, and another attempt there, able to knock it down. And there's the defense again by the Wildcats, just really being kind of feisty.
See her pop that three outside the arc, her first three-pointer of the night and points of the night.
And not a good enough closeout by Ianta Jones. You know Bookwalter can shoot it, get a hand up there in that face, and make it more difficult for Bookwalter to get off that shot.
That pass gets away, tipped away, in fact. So it'll stay with Indy Homeschool. Well, the feeder schools for this squad, Joy Academy, Grace Academy, and Hope Academy, are all different variants that assist in kind of not recruiting necessarily, but getting these different players to Indy Homeschool. Of course, they have Noblesville Homeschool as one of their top rivals, Cincinnati Homeschool as well. Essentially makes up their conference in sort of a pseudo-independent conference, if you will. Audrey Brewer with a nice steal. Intercepting that pass, she's going to go to the rack. And then she'll go to the line. Fouls on Bookwalter. That's her second of the night.
And starting to see Brewer get a little bit more involved. This is, early on you don't want to fall into a hole like this, of course, right off the bat. Better now than later, though. But, of course, you don't want to see this lead for the homeschool start to extend. And I think Brewer, being the senior that she is, recognizes that. And this is a high-scoring team in the Wildcats. So make sure this game is close throughout. Don't let Indy Homeschool start shooting the lights out of the gym.
Indy Homeschool well capable of scoring 60-plus on a given night. Barnes will head to the line after trying to drive through the paint. And she will shoot 2. Fouls on Molly Eckel. That one falls for Barnes. Her first point of the night. Barnes just 44% from the line, 16 of 35. Rebound by Brewer. Good effort. And on the jump, I believe possession stays with the Wildcats. It sure does.
There's another one of those things that doesn't get recognized in the scorebook, but getting jump balls like that and you give an extra possession for you and your team, that's just what Brewer did.
Deep 3, Roscoe doesn't go. Rebound by Brewer once again. Had 12 points last game. Sends this one in the final seconds. Brewer's going to launch one from deep. And that one does not fly. So after one, Indy Homeschool leads 14-8 here at Heritage Christian High School. We'll be right back. You're watching girls basketball on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Help put more kids on TV. Unlike most broadcast companies, our funding comes primarily from donations and school subscriptions. Help us put more kids on TV by clicking our donate button on our webpage, IndianaSRN.org. Thank you. By the way, if you missed the beginning of the game and you were really looking forward to that, you can go back and watch replays of all our games on IndianaSRN.org or on YouTube at the account IndianaSRN. Wildcats lead 14-8 here at Heritage Christian. Bookwalter on the baseline. That one rattles home.
Well done by Bookwalter, recognizing a hard crash near the three-point line. She proved that she could knock one of those down, so she gives a nice head fake and goes to the rim.
Rebound, Hannah Ruddle. There's a good chance there for Heritage Christian. Casey Frost. Ruddle trying to drive to the paint, loses the ball.
Well, nobody picks up Riddle, so Wisely kind of attacking, but if she's able to hang on to that basketball, she can kick it out for a three, possibly from Bookwalter.
Big from Frost. Marshall trying to get it down to her sister, Corinne, and what a block by Emma Barnes. Rejected.
Barnes has done that twice now. She got a clean steal back in the first quarter, and this time reading that they're trying to get it down low to Marshall. And so she comes from help side defense and a nice swat out of bounds.
2 blocks, 3 rebounds, and 2 points for Emma Barnes so far. High post, Grace Marshall kicks it out to her sister Jocelyn. 3 ball is good.
First made 3 for Heritage Christian. Pretty simple game when you make plays like that. Just driving in, defense has to adapt to you. They have to come over and help, and nice catch and shoot from Marshall.
Boer steals this one from Barnes. She's going to head to the basket, and she will be charged with a charge. See that replay again. Jocelyn Marshall, just a quick pop and shoot. Heritage Christian only down by 5 now. And it felt like at the end of the first quarter, Heritage really was relatively out of sorts. Now it feels like they're starting to get their groove back.
And in attack mode, too. Unfortunately for Boer, she picks up that offensive foul. just went right at the defender, and she took it nicely, but could very well be a point swing right there if Heritage Christian ends up making a shot, which they don't, and now you see the Wildcats knock down that shot, so there's a 4-point swing right there.
Louisa Shook knocks it down. She's been shooting 42% on the season. Briefly stolen by Emma Barnes. Trickles between her feet. Corinne Marshall driving to the rack. Dishes it out to her sister. A little bit long. Rebound. Offensive rebound by Jocelyn. Inside to Grace Marshall. Fighting through with Emma Barnes, but that's going to be a travel.
Barnes has been a hard girl to go through. Right now she's going to take a seat, but had a deflection to start off the possession, and there just going straight up, being a wall, not letting one of the Marshall girls get by her. Great defense so far from Barnes in this first half.
Wildcats probably want to get Gloria Brewer going. She averages 24 a game. She's dishing it out to her teammates a ton. Ruddle on the baseline.
Ruddle is fourth on the team in scoring, and number 5 is Roscoe. And those two girls both averaging a little over 6 points a game. A missed shot here from the Eagles. But, you know, you see 24 points scored by Brewer, but you also see a good amount of balanced contribution from the other girls. Bookwalter's second, and then you have Barnes, Ruddle, and Roscoe, the starting 5 all there, all putting in good amount of numbers, and not just in points too, but rebounding the basketball, and so far limiting Heritage Christian to just 11 points.
Indy Homeschool takes their first timeout, and we'll take one with them. Our score 20-11 here at Heritage Christian.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. And the Wildcats of Indy Homeschool lead the way 22-11. 5 minutes left to go in the half. At the line, shooting 2. Louisa Shook. Rebound by Brewer. Gloria Brewer with 4 points so far. That one no good from Roscoe. Heritage has had their share of chances to push the ball and go get points, but they really haven't been as successful as they want to. Not finishing in a couple of possessions here as of late.
Brewer has really been super active trying to get offensive rebounds, and they are, I believe, for second or third already in this first half. Just trying to give another opportunity for her team.
Corinne Marshall loses the handle on that one. Tried to bounce the ball between her legs, and that fell straight out of bounds. There's Roscoe to the high post. Woodard back out, trying to drive in the lane. Homeschool looking for someone open. Losing the ball, there was Roscoe, and it'll fall back into the hands of Grace Marshall. Corinne Marshall fighting for the ball with Rhea Garcia. And that was a foul on Rhea.
see the homeschool team is really kind of getting in those dribble lanes. You know, Heritage Christian has just trying dribbling around them, but their defense side to side is really good, and then kind of trying to do these swim moves, just move the basketball around them any way they can, and the Wildcats are really good keeping their hands active. And
boy, that's a hard foul, offensive. And Rhea Garcia falls to the, actually that's Sarah Roscoe, falls to the court. And Grace Marshall's second foul of the day.
You can see Grace right there at the beginning of the clip just trying to create some space, whether it's just getting position for a dump down or creating space for that driving player of Heritage Christian, and just a little bit too much there.
Trying to fit it inside to Brewer. It's stolen away. Nice play by Jada Wilson. She'll drive down the court. And Wilson launches one, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
Well, that's Wilson's MO right there. It's good defense. She's really quick on her feet. And when she gets a steal, she's going to go the length of the floor. And she's kind of really like an Energizer bunny, just coming off the bench, being that girl to try to kickstart something, turning defense into offense.
When you're a freshman on varsity, you want to be able to prove yourself and kind of find those kind of characteristics. You know, she's a hustle player. You see her all the time now. After she sinks her first, gets her second to fall. So finally, Heritage Christian gets some more points on the board, and even more frequent substitution as Emma Barnes comes back on the floor for homeschool. Roscoe trying to meander about, gets it down to Gloria Brewer. She's looking for a lane. She's triple teamed. Audrey Brewer comes up with the ball, and she'll get the layup.
Nicely done by Heritage Christian. Looks like they're going to try to double Brewer, prevent her from doing what she normally can do. And a couple of quick turnovers, a lot of steals here of late, and Heritage Christian has been the team to get them.
The Wildcats haven't been really been able to find the bottom of the net for the better part of 3 minutes.
Good
nice pass. Emma Barnes on the finish. But it was Shook on the assist.
Yeah, well done by Shook. And just kind of nobody picked her up at the free throw line. And a good tandem there between her and Barnes. You can tell that they were reading each other's minds on what they wanted to happen.
We've seen that play before, but very unsuccessful. And this time, as sure a pass as ever. Ball underneath, on the post, kicking it out to Frost. That one's short, rattles around the cage, and Shook will get the rebound. Bookwalter brings it up the floor. Travel, Gloria Brewer gets caught slipping.
Brewer was out pretty deep beyond that three-point line. I don't think Heritage Christian expected her to put up a shot like that, which she didn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if later on we might see her try to shoot one from that deep.
Marshall back up to her sister.
With all these turnovers that Heritage Christian has been able to force, you'd like to see them get some points off of them and keep this game close. But
homeschool answers with a turnover. Barnes getting it down to her teammate Ruddle. And Bookwalter will take her three, and that one is rebounded by Jada Wilson. Long ball upstairs. Here we go.
Nice pass up the floor by Wilson. Great job running the floor for Heritage Christian. That was Jocelyn Marshall that time.
Jocelyn Marshall with 5 points. Heritage 17. Brewer's going to launch one for three. Rattles out. Rebound by Shook. She's playing tough down there in the paint. That's her fourth rebound of the first half. As Grace Marshall enters back on the floor for Casey Frost.
Grace looks like she's been the one to kind of be around Barnes wherever she's at, and Barnes just came in about a minute ago. And so Barnes kind of being the tallest player on the floor makes the offense just a little bit different, I think, for the Wildcats. And I think for Coach Wiseman, she likes having Grace be the one trying to control her down low.
A little bit give-and-go play there. Boer takes it. Thought about it briefly. She'll be fouled on the way up by Barnes. That's Barnes' second foul.
Almost thought we were going to see a travel called there on Boer.
Actually, that was Woodard on the foul there. I thought so too. It looked like she moved her feet a little bit. Nonetheless, here she is at the line.
Guess they're saying she had the ball deflected or touched by the Wildcats at some point as she was standing there at the free throw line.
Boer misses the second one. She had 12 points in their last game against West Lafayette. Long ball from Grace Marshall. Rebound by Wilson. Nobody there. Can't finish. Rebound by Barnes.
Almost a great play there by Wilson, one of the smallest girls on the floor. A tough rebound down low. Probably wants that one back to make it a three-point game.
And Homeschool takes the timeout. It's going to be a 30, so we'll stay here. Take another quick second to remind you, we're brought to you by Morales Group. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. We do so much more than that even. Let Morales Group help you today. Contact Morales Group 317-472-7600. So Homeschool coming off their win against Kokomo, their closest of the year. They've had several score differentials that are pretty staggering. 100 to 27, 98 to 11, 72 to 21, just to name a couple. But they have had a couple close games. 59 to 53, and most recently a 4-point victory over Northwestern. The squad either blows teams out of the water or keeps it relatively close. And 40 seconds to go. And look to extend their lead. Floater goes for Hannah Ruddle. Her first points of the night. Stolen away by Bookwalter. Tries to get it underneath to Ruddle, and that's stolen away by Marshall.
Well, what a prime position you would have been in if you get that steal and you just bring it out and try to get the last shot, but Heritage Christian ends up giving it right back.
Woodard down to Ruddle. Turnaround hook shot. That doesn't go. Rebound Brewer. Again, rebounded by Woodard, and it falls. Boy, second chance points coming at a plenty. Long ball. Brewer. Final seconds tick down, and that will do it for the first half. Indy Homeschool Wildcats lead the Heritage Christian Eagles 26 to 18. We're going to take a break for our halftime show, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you so much for being with us. You're watching girls basketball on IndianaSRN.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I've seen mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
I am Heritage.
Heritage Christians. We are Heritage.
I am Heritage.
We are Heritage.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Becoming Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School, where the Indianapolis Wildcats lead 26-18 against the Heritage Christian Eagles. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. And Jarrett, that first half had a lot of things going on. I mean, it was kind of topsy-turvy all over the place. We had a couple of runs. We had a couple errors, a few forced fouls, really, that in part due to maybe some lack of discipline just in the beginning of the game. What were your impressions of that first half?
Yeah, kind of a rough start for both teams, really. That long break from Christmas and New Year's, just a lot of time away from basketball and time with family. So it took a while for both these teams kind of knock the rust off, and you saw Heritage Christian start to kind of play a much better defense, get some steals that led to points. The Wildcats did a lot of that early on, and now you see a nice quick start underneath, drawing a foul. Looks like Corinne Marshall.
That was Corinne Marshall. Headed to the line now. She had 2 points in the first half and not going to make a three on that particular shot. Point leaders for each squad. Julia Bookwalter for Homeschool Wildcats had 5. And Audrey Brewer had 7 for Heritage Christian. Corinne Marshall knocks down her second.
The Eagles did a pretty decent job, I think, in that first half, kind of keeping Brewer in check. Early on, she had a couple of easier looks, but of late, they have kept their eyes on her, and they've even brought a double team.
Brewer so far has been held in check. That's her 8th shot of the day. She's 2 for 8 right now. Foul is on Casey Frost, sending Emma Barnes to the line. Emma Barnes, one of 3 seniors on this squad, at least by our count on the roster. That one off the back iron for Barnes. She had 4 in the first half, but 5 rebounds and 2 blocks. She's certainly used all of her 5'11", plus a bit of reach. And here comes the full court press again from Homeschool. They've had some success so far, causing disruptions like that one, Jarrett.
Yeah, and they finished off the second quarter with that full court press, too. They're going to try to make it difficult for the Eagles to get off some shots in that final minute. And now starting off the third quarter in the same fashion.
Here's Jocelyn Marshall handling the rock. Passes to her sister, Grace. Grace is going to head to the hole. That one rims out. Rebound, Hannah Ruddle. Over to Brewer, deep 3. Banks it home. Hello. Gloria Brewer, her first three-pointer of the night.
After 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, Brewer, banks are open for her.
They sure are. On the opposite side, no 3 found at the bottom of the net for that one. Here's Ruddle, Bookwalter. Tries to get to the high post to Emma Barnes. It's stolen away by Frost. Frost, nifty pass over to Grace Marshall. Finishes.
And a nifty shot, too, by Marshall, kind of falling away. Hook shot with the right. Luckily for the Eagles, to get that one to go down, you bump it down under a 10-point advantage for the Wildcats, so you don't want it to get any deeper than that.
Bookwalter, another 3.
But in order to do that, you're going to have to hedge out at the shooters, and Bookwalter has put up 4 3-pointers. She's shooting 50% right now. You got to get out on her much better than that.
Barnes steals it away. Another Bookwalter 3, maybe? Yes. Holy cow. Julia Bookwalter, back-to-back three-pointers. Forces Heritage to take a timeout. And this will just be a quick 30. Give you a chance to talk about our lovely sports page. Stay up to date with all sports by using our sports page at IndianaSRN.org or Troy at radiotroy.com. Scores, stats, and much more. Also, the IHSAA Foundation. Catch up on what's going on with the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to our newsletter, The Advocate. Email us at ihsaa.foundation.org. So three pointers. Back-to-back-to-back possessions. Julia Bookwalter with 2 of those back-to-back, and Gloria Brewer had it started there. A quick 9 points certainly doesn't hurt.
And tremendous looks, too. I mean, the Wildcats are just finding the open girl, and it's been too easy of shots. Heritage Christian, I'm sure Coach Wiseman is saying, got to pick up the defense, and the defense from the Wildcats has been great to start off this second half, too. This full-court press has been hard for the Eagles to break.
Is it just me, or do you feel like the Wildcats have come out with more energy?
Yes, they have. And kind of talking about how it was such a long break, kind of getting back to the use of just dribbling a basketball around. And it took both teams a while to knock the rust off. But the Wildcats seem like they've found their groove.
Jocelyn Marshall, rejection of the shot by Ruddle. And she will inbound. Launches it to her teammate Bookwalter, who's going to take another 3. Has a hot hand. It rattles out. Rebound by Ruddle. Coming away with it and bringing it up top. Tried to fit it in there. Jocelyn Marshall with the quick hands. And now Boer is going to take it up the floor. Drives to the hole. Boer. And over the back of Louisa Shook was Marshall, and that's going to be a turnover on the foul. That's Corinne's first foul of the night.
Yeah, it's dangerous waters right now from here on out for Heritage Christian, being down the most you've been all night at 15. Yeah, I think that was off Boer. That's a good call.
Yep, sure was.
But, I mean, you can't give her that much space. First of all, good help side defense, but Boer's been able to beat her girl off of the dribble. And that's always a dangerous thing. Once you break through that first layer of getting by your own girl, you're able to kick things out.
Nifty steal from Brewer and a nice finish on the and one. That brings her to 9 points.
Making it look real easy, too. I mean, that's the second or third time where Brewer has just been one-on-one with her girl, and she's picking the pocket, making it look extremely easy and able to take the contact on the other end and yet still finish.
And with that, Gloria Brewer has not had a game this year where she has not scored 10-plus points. Offensive rebound underneath by Marshall. She'll get fouled and head to the line.
That's what you need to get back into this ball game. If you're Heritage Christian, being able to box out and get offensive rebounds of your own, the Wildcats are no doubt leading in the rebound categories, and they may have just as many offensive rebounds as Heritage does all rebounds, whether it be offensively or defensively.
Well, and that's only helpful, too, because if you can go to the line at the very least and go ahead and shoot, you get points that way, too, if you can't finish. Second one falls for Corinne Marshall. She had 6 points last time out. Ooh, Jada Wilson took a hard hit. I think Woodard had her feet cemented in the ground. Regardless, though, Jada Wilson took a hard hit. This foul will be, couldn't quite tell. There we go. Corinne Marshall on the push. See this play again. Yep, Woodard had her feet set. All was fine with that one. Ooh, and a toilet bowl roll in there for Rhea Garcia's free throw. Her first point of the night. Entering the game is Sarah Roscoe. Hit the first 3 of the game for Indy Homeschool. Rebound, Brewer, aggressively. Now she's getting double teamed. Dishes it out to Woodard. Brewer's going to take the 3. Rattles out of the cage. And that's going to be Heritage Christian ball.
Boy, again, Heritage Christian just playing with fire a little bit too much. Giving off offensive rebounds, and again, it's Brewer, who is just relentless at that. And you're lucky that Wildcats don't tack onto this lead.
Marshall's going to take it to the hole, and a nice finish for Corinne Marshall.
And we'll see a lot of this. Looks like the rest of the game from Heritage Christian. Picking up the press full court. They do cause a turnover here.
Corinne Marshall collects it off the errant pass by Gloria Brewer. Jada Wilson. Roscoe swatted away. Another nifty pass up the court. What a play.
Well, that was pretty. Well done. Great defense, and then you know that your teammate is going up the floor after going after the basketball, swing it up to her.
Good situational awareness by Rhea Garcia to not only pick up that ball, but have the wherewithal to know where Roscoe's going to be and send it up the court. Right in stride, easy too. It's Roscoe's 5th point of the game. Garcia's 3rd assist. Bookwalter is back on the court for the Wildcats. 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go in our 3rd period. Inside the paint, Marshall, hook shot. Gets the friendly Heritage Christian roll. And that's Grace's first points from the field.
And a well-designed play, too, out of the out-of-bounds.
Roscoe, that one doesn't fly. Jada Wilson bringing the ball up the court. She's got 2 tonight. Freshman over to Jones. That 3 ball a little too long. And an over the back foul on Hannah Ruddle. Sub on again is Casey Frost for Ayatu Jones. In their last game against West Lafayette, they lost 41-55, Heritage did. Briefly thinking about it was Corinne Marshall, passes to her sister Grace on the baseline. Grace goes up, basket counts. Fouls on Sarah Roscoe, her 2nd. In that game against West Lafayette, Grace Marshall had 11 points. She's got just 4, can make it 5 here. Audrey Brewer led all scorers with 12. That was her 5th game in a row leading all scorers. Rattles off the front of the cage. Rebound by Frost. Almost a pass, really, considering the block by Barnes. And the bucket is good.
Right place, right time. Heritage Christian now kind of using the own medicine that the Wildcats have been dishing out, getting offensive rebounds off missed free throws. Here's a good opportunity here, this final 2 minutes, to kind of take away a decent chunk, if you can, of that what once was a 17-point deficit, although you get a quick miss there.
Yeah, certainly not the ideal shot there, I don't think, but as Bookwalter sends another one to the bank.
Same spot, too, I think, from Brewer. Brewer had that exact same spot, and they both bank it in.
Marshall from the corner doesn't fall. Fighting for the rebound of Frost and Barnes. And it certainly doesn't help when Indy Homeschool is just dropping these threes. That's their 5th of the quarter. Five for 8 in this third period from beyond the arc. Jocelyn Marshall gets it over to Jada Wilson. Pick from Frost. Marshall falling down. Picked up by Brewer. Brewer's in a bit of a trap here. Gets it out to her teammate Ruddle. Bookwalter thought about it. Thinks about it again. Sends it over, and Ruddle's there to collect it. One minute to go. Garcia launching a 3-ball. Doesn't fly. Wilson up the court. Got to give it over to Casey Frost. She doesn't let it fall. Bit of a scrap here on the ground, and there's going to be a timeout by Heritage Christian. Apparently Jada Wilson had the ball long enough, and they're going to take a quick 30.
Well, that was awfully close. It looked like the Wildcats had the ball first.
I thought so too.
And Wilson was the one that slid in there and, if anything, tie one up and get a jump ball in. But looks like the Eagles are going to sneak one in real quick here with 43.7 left to go.
Well, clearly this team they're not giving up at all. They have a lot of fight. Down 14. Like you said, they were down as much as 17. Come all the way back to just being down by 11. At this point, what does Heritage Christian just have to do to kind of inch away back at this lead before the fourth quarter?
Well, I think a good option to go to would be Boer. And, Boer's been awfully quiet. A lot of her shots have either been forced or they've just been tough shots to get by any Wildcat defender. So get something set up maybe with Boer. Maybe she's coming off a screen, get a 3-ball to go down for her, just build her confidence up a little bit. But also, the Eagles have been really adamant, it looks like, of getting one of the Marshall girls down low, set up. Grace and Corinne have both had their opportunities on the block, try to post up and get some shots to fall. Grace has been really aggressive down low. So maybe get something like that going where you're consistently going to the paint, trying to at least draw a foul and stop the clock, which when the fourth quarter comes, the clock is definitely not going to be your friend.
There's Frost. Beyond the arc, now Homeschool in his zone. Brewer, scrappy as ever. Tries to get it out to Garcia. More action on the ground. Brewer loses it briefly. Now Garcia's got it back. Topsy-turvy possession there.
I think every girl on the floor at one point touched the basketball.
Garcia out to Bookwalter. Does she want another 3? Inside to Brewer. Had to be somebody open. She was surrounded by Eagles. Under 10 to go. Brewer setting up on the ISO. Has to send it here. And she's fouled on the way up, and that 3-ball does not fall. But she will get 3 more chances at the line.
Boy, that possession was so good for Heritage Christian up until you foul Brewer. I mean, she's, for one, well beyond the 3-point line. 2, you have great defense on her. And 3, she does a step-back shot. I mean, how often do you see a girl at the high school level hitting step-back threes? I mean, just don't foul her. That's all you got to do.
Not very often is the answer to that question. She's got one more chance here. And we'll pretty much knock out the third quarter. Gloria Brewer's got 12 points to lead all scorers at the end of 3. The Wildcats have a handle on this one, but do not go anywhere. I reckon we're in for an exciting fourth quarter here on IndianaSRN.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
The Wildcats of Indianapolis Homeschool lead 47-31 here on IndianaSRN. Welcome back, Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. Jarrett, these girls have had a handle on Heritage Christian in this second half. They came out just with a little more spark, I feel like, in their step.
Yeah, it took them a while to get going, like we said, but that third quarter no doubt belonged to the Wildcats, and now it's just about taking care of the basketball, although when they have turned the ball over, the Eagles haven't really been able to capitalize off of those turnovers. They haven't been able to turn them into points. So, but still, you want to make sure you take care of the ball here in this fourth and final quarter. Don't make this a little bit too more interesting. Kind of keep Heritage right where they're at.
Ruddle off the front iron. Boer with the rebound. Shifting it up to Wilson, and she gets the easy bucket.
That's what Wilson can do right there, just the speed, and when you see a turnover like that, try to get it up with the floor to a girl like Wilson, who off the bench can really try to spark something. Bad defense there on the backside, though, by Heritage.
Yeah, they definitely needed that. Louisa Shook gets her second bucket of the night.
You see this 2-3 zone again. We haven't seen it much from the Wildcats.
Good shot from Boer. Haven't seen her take a three yet. Wonder if that might be a strategy going forward by Cassie Wiseman. Brewer, fadeaway shot. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's all right. That's just something we mentioned in a timeout back in that third quarter was a girl you really want to get going is Boer. Your leading scorer. Get something open for her. And a 2-3 zone is a good opportunity. If you have somebody who can drive in and the defense collapses on you, you're looking for the shooters outside. Once you break into that 2-3 zone, or you have some really quick passes, you get it into the high post and swing it around, you just find the open girl and try to knock down some shots. Boer can be that girl.
That's how we've seen the Wildcats roll as Barnes makes that shot, but the foul is on the ground. It's Grace Marshall's third foul. Other players in foul trouble, not really any. I mean, Audrey Brewer's got two. Brewer off the backboard. Man, sometimes the shot just falls.
Excuse me? What? I mean, get him how you can, Gloria Brewer. That's why she's over 3,000 points since 7th grade. But that was one of those shots where the coach is like, "What are you doing?" And good job.
He's like, "No. Okay,
all right,
sure,
yeah, we'll take it."
Grace Marshall at the line, knocks down her first. Yeah, Gloria Brewer has been nothing short of excellent throughout the year. 24 points per game. She's got 14 tonight, so really kind of an off night, all things considered. By the fourth quarter, see if she heats up here.
The Eagles' defense on her has mostly been okay, but there's been other girls been able to step up for the Wildcats, like this girl right here who's knocked down a couple threes.
Bookwalter now over to Brewer, and she knocks down the tray. She had 15 points last game, and she's got 17 now.
That's another difference in this ball game is the Wildcats have been able to knock down threes between Bookwalter and Brewer. They have 5 or 6, and for Heritage, I believe they've only knocked down 1 the entire game.
Right. Louisa Shook was on that rebound out to Bookwalter, and she's going to miss. And Boer took her second three on the last possession. Marshall, spinorama. That one doesn't fly. Ball will stay with the Eagles. You know, we talked about how young this Heritage Christian team is. only one senior in Grace Marshall, and it feels like that they're just a couple steps away with development, right? And I think that's something you can point to with Indianapolis Homeschool is they have 3 seniors in their starting lineup who really kind of set the pace for the whole game. And I think Heritage Christian, a year, 2 years from now, might be somebody that people really start to fear.
Yeah, you love having your sophomores and your freshmen play a lot of quality minutes, and a few of them being starters. Could very well be a dangerous team in the years to come.
Woodard, easy 2. Her second basket of the night. Wildcats lead by 21. Their largest of the night. Boer, again, no good. At this point, just trying to inch closer and closer to this lead, or in this deficit, rather. Garcia back out to Woodard, and she's going to be called for a double dribble.
Starting to get out of hand for Heritage Christian. We've seen crazy things happen, but 5:03. Wildcats have just been in control from start to finish, and now in this 2-3 zone, Eagles still unable to get a shot to go.
Brewer to Shook. On the roundabout, doesn't fly. After this one, Indy Homeschool will ship off to Crossroads Christian. Gloria Brewer to the basket. Doesn't fall, but she'll go to the line and shoot 2. Crossroads Christian on Saturday, they actually play a doubleheader. 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. They're going to play Kalamazoo Homeschool. So that'll be a neutral site game. Heritage Christian, on the other hand, they're going to play Greenwood Christian and then have an 11-day gap after Friday's game. And then they play Brebeuf and North Putnam to finish out the year. Seems like they're ending early considering Indy Homeschool has 10 more games left to Heritage Christian's 3. Brewer knocks down her second.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So if you want to get ready for, tourney time or conference tournament time, you don't have a lot more preparation left if you're Heritage Christian if you want to make a run. But you are 3-1 in conference this season. Last year we were 2-2 during the regular season in Circle City.
And they have that game coming up on Friday, and then you mentioned that 11-day gap. And,
yeah.
We just saw here tonight kind of what a long delay between games can do to a team. You have your Christmas break, and then you miss a couple of days around New Year's.
Yep.
And, Heritage Christian, we saw them tonight come out flat. And right now still 37 points to their name. We wonder if that gap towards the end of the season before they enter sectional play can really hurt them too.
Long ball to Boer. Doesn't fly. Rebound by Shook. Garcia on the baseline. She can't find it. Up to Roscoe. A nice Euro step move to get in there. And it looks like a toe on the line to me.
Heritage they haven't had a lot of passes sneak through either. Any sort of pass that they're making, whether it's cross court or somebody's making a back cut. There's Boer finally with a 3.
Finally finds the bottom of the net. And stealing it again there, Molly Eckel.
But as I was saying, the defense from the Wildcats has been tremendous. Just closing out those passing lanes and keeping those hands active, preventing anything from getting through. There hasn't been a whole lot of points scored off of good passes, off of good cuts from Heritage Christian.
Garcia headed over to Woodard. Back to Roscoe. To Shook. Garcia, her 3. Molly Eckel fighting for the rebound with Woodard. This Heritage Christian squad came into this game following a win against Southport, who they beat by 30. So they had some confidence against a good team. That was on the 29th. This Wildcat squad, back-to-back IBCA state champions. They're a squad that, if they can stay on this type of roll, they're going to be really hard to beat. Brew's going to be fouled hard by Antu Jones.
It's cool to see the Wildcats be involved in, like, they have a lot to play for in their regular season and then into the postseason. Being a home school, right. First you play in the ICBA, which is the Indiana Christian Basketball Association. You play in that state tournament, and then you go on to a Midwest Regional tournament, which is other similar schools, and then you go to a national tournament. So they're playing well into the middle of March in so many different tournaments, mostly in the postseason. But just, I mean, how cool is that, the many different tournaments that they get to be a part of throughout the year?
It is neat, and they're coming up. They're going to play Warren Central next week. Good teams that you probably don't. It's pretty rare air that you get to go play in these kind of games and realize your potential. Full timeout here for the Wildcats. We're going to take one with them. 60-40, our score here on IndianaSRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian. Well, we were starting to talk about Indianapolis Wildcats and the history that they've had. They've won nationals a couple times over the last 5 years. And that's a special opportunity for these girls to be able to go play in national tournaments. But Audrey Boer says, hold everything. I'm going to shoot a three real quick, get the chance with a 4-point play. Audrey Boer tonight, 10 points to her name. Rebound by Corinne Marshall. And fouling on the way out, this will be Indy homeschool ball.
Back-to-back state champions in the ICBA last year and in 2020. And in 2020, they didn't have Julia Bookwalter. So you win the state championship in 2020, and then 2021, you add a nice shooter in Julia. And so you it's kind of a KD going to Golden State type of thing. The Warriors win it, and then you add in a nice addition, a nice piece to make your chances even greater to go back-to-back.
That's right. And they had Gloria Brewer this whole time, right? So this is a team that has been used to having a couple players that are just rather excellent. Marshall for three. That one long. Good hustle by Roscoe, interfering with Brewer. And Scott Roscoe, his first year coaching this team was last year. 30-6, 3-1 versus their pseudo-conference opponents. His team has been solid all year, now shooting 49% from the field this season. at the line, Bookwalter. She'll knock down her second one. Boer's going to grab that one. Excuse me, Boer's going to shoot that one, and Ruddle's going to grab it on the rebound. Sends it down to her teammate Roscoe, who misses. And it's Marshall on the rebound. Long pass to Boer. Nifty one. Beautiful work to get that, too.
Nice look up ahead. Boer getting behind the defense. Now it's all about for the home school. Just taking care of the basketball. You'll take free throws or layups at this point. You don't want to turn it over too much, although I think 90 seconds, not enough time left for Heritage Christian.
Yeah, Bookwalter and company. Wildcats have a steady, steady lead. A few more subs in for Heritage Christian. And they're going to take a timeout. I believe probably just a quick 30 gives us a chance to tell you about. Actually, we will wait to come back with it on IndianaSRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis. Stay up to date with all sports by using our sports page at IndianaSRN.org. Scores, stats, and much more. By the way, also catch up on what's going on with the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to their newsletter, The Advocate. Email at ihsa.foundation.org. Long ball. Garcia is going to be fouled. Oh, well, actually, they'll say that was all ball. Send it out of bounds.
Looks like a clean swat by Grace.
Bookwalter tries to save that one. Team certainly doesn't give up on their hustle. Neither team has. Marshall is fouled on the floor.
Well, you can see in these point totals right now, each team is right around where they are averaging around on the season. The Wildcats at 66. They're pretty close to that mark. We thought that Heritage Christian would definitely need to be scoring in the 60s to have a shot, because this is the normal total that they're at right here, 46. I mean, it's not very often that they're in high-scoring games.
Second free throw is missed. Rebounding again now, final minute. And that'll be a foul in the backcourt. And that will send Hannah Ruddle to the line on the bonus. 10th team foul for Heritage. So last year, regional champs for Indy Homeschool, and they were battling throughout their national tournament, or throughout their regional tournament. Gloria Brewer was the player of the year for the NCHBC. Wilson over to Boer. That one's taken away by Roscoe. Roscoe to the hoop. That one that one is no good, and rebounded there by Jocelyn Marshall. Scoops it out, no look pass, and that's a 3-ball good from Grace Marshall.
Nice sister tandem there.
Yeah. Always a reliable connection. Interfered with on the side there. Here's Bookwalter. Back up top. Finishing this out. Wilson steals it. Up to Marshall. Marshall, easy 2. Heritage gets beyond 50 for the 10th time this season, and that's going to do it. The Indianapolis Homeschool Wildcats take care of business at 75th and Boulevard and Binford, 64-51. And finally, Jarrett Lewis, just a couple impressions before we go to break, and then go a little bit deeper on the way up.
Yeah, just taking care of business like you said. Every girl getting involved. Brewer didn't necessarily have to be the #1 girl for the Wildcats, but she had a pretty big impact on this game and a much better shooting performance tonight from the Wildcats to get things done and get the 13-point victory.
They do take care of business, and they move to 15-0 in pursuit of that perfect season. They have 10 more games to go beyond tonight. For Heritage Christian, they fall to 8-9. And as the teams pray it out, we are going to take a break and be right back with you for a couple in-depth analysis, a couple in-depth analyses from Jarrett Lewis, along with our player of the game and 6th woman of the game. So we'll be back. Catch us on the other side after the break.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian. Joey Lindstrom alongside Jarrett Lewis for our post-game show. The Indianapolis Wildcats took care of business, 64-51. This post-game show is brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Call 317-884-8046 for more information. Well, Jarrett, looking ahead on IndianaSRN and our family of networks, this Friday, and looking ahead at the schedule, this Friday, Northview at Greencastle. We have Greenwood Christian at Heritage Christian, Guerin Catholic at Bishop Chatard, and you'll be on the call for this last one, Faith Christian at Bethesda Christian. Boys varsity for all those minus Greenwood Christian and the Heritage squad that we just saw. And that's going to be the slate for Friday. For Saturday, University High School at Covenant Christian, Shortridge at Greenwood Christian. University at Covenant Christian is a girls' game. Shortridge at Greenwood Christian, and those to follow are all boys' games. Heritage Christian at Covenant Christian, Central Christian at Indianapolis Lutheran, and Indiana Math and Science at Traders Point. All those on IndianaSRN. So now let's give awards to our player of the game and our 6th woman of the game for tonight. And you and I have gone through. Julia Bookwalter really impressed us tonight.
Yeah, she did, and she got off she was shooting the 3 more than anybody on the floor, and I believe she knocked down 3 of those, and just finding herself open. And, you know, we talked about how she was the girl that got added on for last year's team, who ended up winning their state tournament in the ICBA, and just her shooting ability was tremendous. We talked about how Brewer at 24 points a game, she really didn't have to be the girl tonight, and she was kind of facilitating a little bit, just as much as she was scoring. And Bookwalter ended up being the one that just found herself open and was knocking down big shots, and just seems like she plays hard, and she plays a full amount of time, a full 8 minutes each quarter. So yeah, Bookwalter definitely in consideration, and she ends up being player of the game, and Brewer not too far behind. Another tremendous performance from her.
Yeah, Bookwalter ends up with 14 points, and she was very confident shooting the basketball. She shot at 75% tonight. Gloria Brewer finished with 17 and 6 rebounds. So our sixth woman off the bench, six women in the game. We have Emma Barnes tagged for it. She only had 4 points, but had 3 opportunistic blocks and 6 rebounds to her credit. She was a player that also came onto the scene and really impressed.
Yeah, she did. She was really kind of controlling that paint. Points were hard to come by for Heritage Christian down low. They tried to get Marshall, one of the 2 Marshalls that were playing mostly down low, more involved, and she was just really a wall, a great presence in that lane for the Wildcats. You mentioned those blocks, just really a force to be reckoned with, and kind of gave a lot of extra opportunities for the Wildcats too. They really led the rebound battle tonight by a wide margin, it seemed like, and got a lot of offensive rebounds, a couple of those coming off missed free throws, which really shouldn't happen for a basketball team. But the Wildcats playing a lot harder tonight and getting this victory, and Barnes and Bookwalter definitely having a huge impact on it for the homeschool Wildcats.
Looking ahead for Heritage Christian on the opposite side, they're going to have to go play a tough Greenwood Christian squad on Friday, and they just seemed like they were not in the groove that they needed to be early in the second half. Was that fair to say?
Yeah, it took them a while. It took both teams a while, but for Heritage Christian, the defense from Indianapolis really gave them a lot of fits. They came out with some full court pressure at times, which forced a lot of bad passes and turnovers. The active hands from the Wildcats, too, were really making it hard for Heritage Christian to get off simple passes. And to hold a team to 51 points is a really, good advantage. It's a good thing to have in any game if you're the Wildcats, or if you're any team, just holding an opposing team to 50 or less, in this case 51, which isn't really a whole lot in a high school basketball game. So props to the Wildcats making things difficult for the Eagles, and coming off a really long break. It was obvious that Heritage Christian, it was going to take them a while to get back into their normal groove that they have in any given basketball game.
Well, they certainly have time. They fall below 500, but they have time to get back up over that hump. They only have 3 more games left this season. They're going to face a 7-6 Greenwood Christian squad this Friday on IndianaSRN. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Indianapolis Wildcats 64, Heritage Christian 51. For Jarrett Lewis, for Casey Pierce, for Chance, our cameraman, thank you so much. I'm Joey Lindstrom. Have a great night and be safe. We will see you next time on IndianaSRN.